Hello and welcome to a drizzly and dismal windless Sydney Harbour for what was to be the fifth and final heat of the New South Wales Championship for the 18-foot skiffs. But the news is, as you can see, there's no wind and racing has been cancelled for the day. So there's no racing today, and there's been rain all morning in Sydney. It's been drizzling. There's just been a very strong rain squall passed over the harbour about half an hour ago, and the officials have decided that the wind will not materialise today. So there is no racing, and disappointing for the spectators and all our viewers that are watching via Sale Media. But I think it's a wise decision. It's as would be just a drift out there, and as you can see from our overhead shots looking into Double Bay, little or no wind. But this title from the New South Wales Championship was decided last weekend with a clear-cut victory on the point score to Andu, skippered by John Hermann winning, and we're delighted to welcome him to the commentary today for a few minutes before we wind up. There we go. Herman, firstly, congratulations. Happy with the way the boat's going? Yeah, very happy. I think we're undefeated with the regular crew with Sam and Sevi on a scratch start, so that's positive news. We've had a few fill-ins that have been, A-grade fill-ins that would, be the best of the best anyway, but obviously it's always difficult. I started the first time with Matty Stenter on an 18. The first time we sailed with him and he was on the main sheet, and last week was the second time I'd ever sailed with him on an 18 and he was on the bow. And then we had a few other people filling in, and so it's been a mixed crew for the season, but we're very happy with how we're going so far. Today we would have had the full crew back, but Sevi's only got one shoulder apparently, so I don't know what he's been lifting, probably too many Porto burgers or something. And well, we won't go there, what he's been doing with his shoulder, but anyway. Yeah, exactly. Let's look ahead, and we've got some exciting racing coming up this coming Friday, Saturday and Sunday, the Australian Championships, 2 races each day, 6 heats in all. You'll have your full crew for that? I believe so, yeah. Right. I mean, that's a good question, actually. It always seems to be a bit of a lottery. We're always negotiating between Sale GP, Etchells and 18-foot skiffs, so we do our best. But I think for the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we should be fine. Pretty sure we'll have the full crew, so looking forward to that. Well, let's talk about your opposition. I mean, you'd have to say your father's doing pretty well. I mean, he was very strong last week till he got tangled up in the main sheet and capsized. He was vying for the lead with Smeg. He's been doing well, and Smeg also put his name forward last week. Are they probably the main contestants at this stage? As we look at the scoreboard, we've had Andu, as you can see there, the winner of the championship. Smeg was second, Yandu third. So were they the two main combatants, would you think? Yeah, and I think Keegan's come out last week looking like he's got strong. Some pace, but Keegan's biggest thing's normally putting a whole regatta together, so I think if he can keep the consistency up, he's always got the boat speed. We didn't do ourselves any favours on the starting line last week. I think, started next to two of the people that you definitely don't want to start on a starting line in between, being Marcus Jones and the Burrowang Hotel. And so we were basically thought we were going to block Marcus out on the boat by luffing him out. We got an overlap and thought we'd luff him round above Ripple side and on the boat end. He had a different opinion on that and decided to bear away, or at least make sure he was in on the boat. So we overlapped windward wing with his leeward wing. And then to leeward we had, I think it was a fill-in. It was the moustache, the Munster moustache, Brett Van Munster. Yeah. He was to leeward, yelling all sorts of, if there was a swear jar on the boat, he would have owed a few dollars. He was yelling at us saying, "I don't give a damn," or something along those lines, and basically grabbing our leeward wing and pushing us backwards. So when the gun went, I think we were in reverse, head to wind, and had to tack out and go to the non-favoured side of the course. But we were pretty happy with that speed. We caught back up to the leaders, but certainly Keegan looked like he had legs when he got clear air. And for sure, if Dad hadn't capsized, I would have backed him to win the race, and we would have been fourth, and it would have been neck and neck today. But thank God he did capsize, because if he didn't, maybe we would have been out there drifting off for the championship. And I'm much happier to be drifting off in the bar to a few rum and cokes. Well, if you've just joined us, the news is there's no racing today for the 18-footers. You can see there from the shots that there's no wind on the harbour, and the racing was cancelled about half an hour ago. And we look forward now to the Australian Championships, which commence on Friday on the harbour. But John, just before we wrap up, let's just quickly talk about ocean racing. Sydney Hobart, Andu Comanche, a fantastic line honours win. What's the program now for the boat?
The program now for the boat, well, we went out for a corporate day, or actually just taking some friends for a sail last week, and we actually did more damage on that day than we did in the whole Hobart, unfortunately. So it's repairing the boat, doing a bit more sort of advertising, getting the brand out there as much as we can with the sail up. People just keep taking photos of it and sharing it on Instagram, so as long as they keep loving seeing the boat out in the harbour, we'll keep putting it out in the harbour. Taking as many friends and family and friends of family and of our friends and family out for sails, and just enjoying the boat for all of its glory. We're going to have the boat present at our not-for-profit summit that the winning group are putting on in March at Luna Park. So at March 16th to 18th at Luna Park, the Andu Comanche crew will be there. You get to meet the crew, hopefully see the boat. And, you know, it's all just a kind of learning, inspiration and stimulation experience. We're going to have people like Jim Jeffries. We've got Matt Mullenweg, the CEO and founder of WordPress. Wim Hof, the Iceman's going to be there in person doing breath work and ice baths. He's actually going to do we're talking about doing a live course with the Andu Comanche crew. So he shows how to get high performance out of your sleep. We've got Dr. Diane McGrath, who is on the one-way ticket with SpaceX to Mars, and she's going to be doing workshops how to biohack your sleep and get the best out of your personal performance or sporting performance for all the sports fans. John Bertrand, obviously needs no introduction to this crowd that are listening, and he's bringing Dr. Gemma King with him, who's the Red Bull high performance coach, and the list goes on. Reggie Watts, who's one of the most famous and most viral TED talkers of all time, and you know, a whole bunch of musicians like Guy Sebastian, and then DJ Seth Troxler, Tiga, DJ Tennis, and so on and so forth. It's really an endless list. There's 80 people, talent, and sorry for the free plug for it, but it's a free plug for charity. No profits going anywhere. I take all the risk, and the charity takes all the profits. And the charity's aim, which is the biggest movement of positivity that I've been able to support or come across. It's a charity that was founded by a guy by the name of Jack Manning Bancroft, and it's in 52 countries as a global charity around equality and reducing the educational gap for those that are marginalised and outside of the boundaries. And it's a really cool initiative. If you don't know about it, check it out. It's an awesome charity.
Well done. It sounds a great cause. So, Jimmy Bury, we'll just bring you in here. What are you looking forward to in the next few weeks, Jimmy? We've got a bit happening, haven't we?
Mate, very excited. The Aussie titles, like as Herman alluded to earlier, the crews are all getting tighter. Like, hopefully the Andu boys can have their full team, but as you said, like, even their reserve guys are A grade, so there's always something special. Last week when they were buried off the start, you know, I wasn't expecting to see them that far up the course at the top mark first time, and they chewed through a lot of the fleet pretty quick. And
we had one on the wing mark.
Yeah, then you had the wing mark incident.
I blame Sevi for the lane line, and then he kept saying we're not going to get the breeze that the people in front are going to get. And I'm having a go at Sevi, but he gets it right 99.9% of the time. But on this one, I get to give it to him. So basically, he said we're not going to get the breeze that they're going to get. I said, are you sure? Yeah. We got absolutely carded. And normally, you know, this shows if you have your regular crew, you do a few things to pre-prepare a bit earlier, but Matt's sort of going, okay, what's the manoeuvre here? How does this work? You know, it's a bit different to the 16 where he does the bow. And at one point, you know, we like to say the two favourite things that Sevi likes to do on the boat is his favourite calls are one-man drop, this drop, and no two-sail reaching. He doesn't like to sort of use the energy up too quickly. But so he sent Matty in. And I said, well, we could just take a risk and blow the halyard and go around the YA. And as Matty ran in, Sevi yelled out, blow the tack, which caused some confusion. So Matty looked back and goes, the tack or the halyard? And I'm like, the halyard. And Sevi goes, oh, yeah, I mean the halyard. And by the time we'd had that 15-second discussion, we were then past the YA mark with the halyard blown. So
yeah,
it was completely pointless.
It definitely looked like a bit bit on there.
And then Sevi didn't want to get the kite. I said, "We'll bring the kite in," but that meant Sevi would have had to pull the halyard back up while Matt was holding the chute. So Sevi goes, "No, just tack with the kite on the front of on the bowsprit."
Yeah,
so we take with
first
the
time
kite
we've
up.
seen an 18 in a long time try and go upwind with a spinnaker.
Well, we did it success. How we kept it out of the piss, I have no idea. But yeah, it shows that Matty's obviously got a lot of skill, and Sevi's got an incredible amount of skill.
But Sevi
He's
doesn't
got
know.
a lot more ability than agility, that's for sure.
But Sevi doesn't know the difference between the tack and the halyard. Is that what you're trying to tell us?
I don't know. He just had one. He just yelled out, "Blow the tack," and I screamed, "No, the halyard!" And it was right at the moment when we needed to do it last minute to get to the YA, and that little bit meant that I couldn't get the nose up above the YA, and we just had all sorts of. Probably would have been quicker to capsize.
Anyway, well, that's hopefully all the cobwebs are out and ready for the Australian title. So, look, I think we'll wrap it up there. Not much to wrap up as far as sail is concerned. That's the overhead shot looking into the Double Bay Park, and all the skiffs are packed up. No racing today, as we said earlier. There's no wind, and I think it's been a very wise decision. The breeze hasn't materialised at all. No racing today. The New South Wales title was wrapped up last week by Andu from Smeg and Yandu, and we look forward to next Friday for the first two heats of the Australian titles. So join us for the sail media coverage then, and we've got Friday, Saturday and Sunday, 2 races each day. So it should be a very exciting day, and looking at the early forecast, we could have some good nor'easters. So John Winning, Herman, thank you very much for your time. Congratulations on your win. Good luck for the rest of the season for the Australians and the Giltons. Jimmy Bury, as usual, thank you for the camera cat and all the boys.
And thank you guys. You're doing an awesome job all season. Everyone loves the live stream. So, yeah, hats off to you, and keep up the good work. And thanks to all you listeners out there. Hopefully you enjoy watching us sail every week. Keep tuning in so you can keep these blokes in a job, and someone watches us doing what we love doing.
Good on you, Herman. Thank you very much. Well, this is Peter Shipway signing off, and we look forward to your company next Friday.
Cheers.